Other than being selected at TechCrunch this year, my startup participated in Startup School. If you don't know what that is, it's a program by Y Combinator to help startups get on their feet. Okay, if you don't know what Y Combinator is, it's a venture capitalist firm that provides seed funding to startups. And if you don't know what seed funding is, well, it's the first funding a company receives to help pay for expenses while they get started. Okay, so Y Combinator usually runs this accelerator program twice a year where they select a few early stage startups, give them seed funding and mentor them into a mature company. Going through their program increases your chances of getting funded by a lot. This startup school program the members of Renly graduated from is not that. Well, it is, but not exactly. What it is an attempt to reproduce this effect at a much larger scale. It's a massive open online course, or MOOC. Here, it is not a handful of companies that participate. It's open to the entire web. Anyone can sign up. Our instructor was Aaron Glazer, the CEO of Tapalytics, a mobile A/B testing platform. Once a week, we would be in a conference call where each startup will talk about their challenges and their goals for the following week. And then there is a lecture from a prominent figure in the business world. These lectures are published on YouTube for everyone to watch. I went through the startup school program, so I thought I would share a few things that I found useful for anyone building a company. Number one, you don't have to build your business alone. There is a community. Building a business is usually an experience that isolates you from your friends and acquaintances. It's hard to explain what you do to people, especially if you're in the early stages and haven't figured it out yet entirely. Being in a community makes it easier. You can talk about these things, the challenges you face every day. One of the requirements of Startup School was to download the app Mattermost, a group chat application, and interact with your group. This is where announcements are made, meetings are scheduled, and where questions are asked. My program ended since June, but as I am recording this, people are still having discussions and the community continues to strive. Number two, you get a rare peek into someone else's startup. Outside this community, if you want to know the real details of a startup, you either have to sign an NDA or hope for a leak. It's nearly impossible to get the real stories, the challenges a startup faces in the early stages. In this community, you get to see the raw struggles people have to deal with. You can even help or get help. An interesting thing that I started to think about is when you are working on your own idea, you obviously believe that it is the cleverest thing ever thought of. But then you see someone else working on his or her own idea and you think it is not that impressive, yet their passion and enthusiasm is off the roof, just like you. It brings things back into perspective. It makes you think about your own idea. Is it as amazing as you think it is? Number three, coming up with a one-liner that describes your company and what you do. I had worked on Renly for a while, but I still couldn't tell you what it was we did in a single breath. Being in a conference call with an audience that has no clue what we are about was very helpful at trying to explain what we do. Many times it made no sense, and the community was nice enough to help me through this. It forces you to really understand what your business is about. Number four, empathy. Building a business is hard. It can be very emotional. Everyone comes from a different background and try to work on an idea they believe in. Sometimes life gets in the way. There are sacrifices. Some people have families to take care of, some are still in college, some have to deal with immigration issues, and all the while they have to build their company and make it profitable. Number five, you get what you put in. Obviously, like any MOOC program, the beginning of class is packed, and the last day you will have a handful of people. The problem with online classes is that it's very easy to give up. All you have to do is stop showing up. It is easy to participate, but it's even easier not to. The only way to make it is to stick through the end. Overall, this was a very good experience for me, but you only get what you put in. I applaud Y Combinator for their effort. even if it is just for the community they are building. They promise that the years to come, they'll have over 10,000 startups applying for it. Knowing that you're not alone working on an idea that may or may not change the world is a reassuring thing. You talk with people in the same situation as you speak with experts, and you get the hard truth from an instructor that has real-world experience. So yeah, this is Startup School.